So imagine the coffee industry reality show, but it's like Big Brother or like The Real World.
Yeah.
Where like everybody that worked at this cafe also live together.
Oh.
Like imagine that,
That
like
would
just
be ill.
just the like
That
the
would be
hidden
ill.
camera style show where it's like imagine like a episode, it's a reality episode, but like somebody mad as hell because they know their roommate overslept the shift, so now they getting called to come in for them. It's like, yo, bro, you right here in the room,
right here with me.
So now you got the roommates banging in their room to wake them up to sit them to their shift. Yo, I would have a field day like crafted that show.
That would be lit.
Remember the Dave Chappelle making the band sketch?
Oh yeah.
We need like
I'm gonna shut down the studio.
Yeah, we need somebody that's like,
studio.
hey, I'm gonna shut down the cafe. But first I'm gonna need y'all to walk to the Bronx.
Dylan.
But first I'm gonna need y'all to walk to the Bronx and give me some oat milk. Yo, it would be hilarious.
I want y'all to go to West Coast, give me the Ghost Town Oats.
Yo. Man, Michelle, man, we need Michelle on the show, man. We need Michelle on the show.
Yeah, we do. Ezra. What's up, Ezra?
We could get a 95 plus no free refills co-episode one day.
That'd be
get
dope.
Tamika and Ezra come through and just vibes, man.
That'd be dope. That would be dope.
So a lot of their show is like talking about, a lot of their podcast is like talking about like TV shows and stuff like that. So we could flesh out this sitcom right here. Like
that's right.
We could pitch it right now,
Yep.
and that might be the future of coffee. We
Just get
say,
AI to write it.
No, hell no. Nah, man. We're going to wait for this writer's strike to be over, make sure everybody get paid properly. We're going to bring in the writers. And then guess what? The future of coffee is storytelling because we about to make the Abbott Elementary of coffee. We out.
Man.
Let's go.
There's that show reference again.
Hairbrain schemes, baby. I'm locked in. I'm telling you.
Man, I swear.
Millionaire.
My kid's former school was just Abbott Elementary all over again. Yeah. Like from the principal to the teachers. To the kids.
Yo, kids are so unhinged. I was talking to a friend of mine. She works in a school, and kids is like, Miss Jazz, like, she's like, I really love your outfit most days. Not
Most
today
days.
though. You should change
days.
that. I'm just like, yo, kids say some of the most off the wall stuff
Unfiltered.
ever, and like, they don't realize that you're not supposed to say that yet.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so hilarious because you're like, I might have thought that thing, but it would have never made it out the editing process before it came over. Like, oh my God.
They haven't built that editing room yet.
Yeah. It's like,
they don't have editors. They got to hire some editors.
So now, another running. So my first cafe, there wasn't a real like barrier to separate front of house from back of house. Like it was literally just like this one like pull up thing. So it served as the counter that we would pass drinks over, but you could literally pull it up and like walk through, right? So there'd be times where like families would come into the cafe and like their little kid would try to like run under the thing because they could just like run over and come to the back. And the parents like, oh my God, no, don't run back there. You're gonna hurt yourself. And I'm like, I can come back here. They work here now. Like I'm on, like they about to pull some espresso, but they can come back here. I'm 2 years old. I'm like, nah, you work here. I would love for us to create the sitcom version where it's the cafe, but it's all like
Little kids.
Yeah, it's all like little kids that run the cafe. So like imagine all of the stuff that we filtered out and edited because you can't say that working in a place, but it's like a 9-year-old, so they haven't developed that. So like just imagine like an unruly customer.
I said an iced latte, an iced vanilla latte. No, you didn't.
I could put some ice in it, but you just steamed the milk. You said iced latte. You didn't say, look.
They'll just walk. They won't even say anything. They just walk over to the ice machine and just drop it
with their fingers.
With their fingers. No, they'll be like this. You said ice? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be the kid show.
Taking a sip out of everybody mocha because it got chocolate in it. Yo, my kids are so terrible when it come down to taking our drinks, man. And like it'd be funny when like if we like drink like an actual adult beverage in the house, like we have wine or like have a beer or something like that. And my little 2-year-old trunk, I'm like, listen, man, it'd be the last thing you do if you steal that from me. You can't take a sip of that. I can only imagine what that would be like in a cafe. Like imagine like a 4-year-old just made an extra hot latte for somebody and then tried to take a sip out of it because they can't help themselves.
Just start
Their
crying.
whole face just on fire. Yeah.
Just start crying for like 10 minutes. And there'll be no one there to like calm them down. Because the other kids be like, what? All right,
It was hot.
okay, well, it was hot.
Gotta learn hot somehow.
Shit's just hot. Still there crying.
Hey man, this the future of coffee, man. We're gonna create the TV show so we can all get on.
No OSHA. No health department.
Goodness. Yo, imagine like a little like middle schooler having to run the health inspection. They got because you got to add a manager in there with a 6-year-old with a full handlers. Nobody else on staff understand.
Nah, here's just a bag of candy, health inspector.
Yeah, it's like, don't worry. No, that's not on the menu. That's just for us.
Yeah. No, we did have this health inspector though. Mm-hmm. He was dope. Like the owner, she was scared of him. The other baristas were scared of him. Mm-hmm. But the dude, he didn't really care that much. He'd come in and we just talk about, Carolina football or Carolina basketball, whatever season it was. And I make him a drink. And we just shoot the shit for like, 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. And then he'd be like, all right, see y'all next time. Wouldn't even look around.
This is how I know North Carolina is so different than the city. Because your health inspector.
Yeah.
What? New York, they pop up on you like the undercover detectives.
Yeah.
Like I mean, they come in.
Yeah, they do that in Raleigh, but this is on campus. He inspected like all the like campus like cafeterias and all the other like pop-up cafes here and there.
So you knew him, right?
So, yeah. Same dude, and he was a talker. And he just wanted somebody to listen to him. That's all it was. So.
Nah, in New York, they pull up on you like the Men in Black. They'll walk in, they'll order a drink, they'll sit down, they'll chill for like 30, 40 minutes, just watch. And then they walk up on you like, freeze. All right, time to do your inspection. It's like, mind you, they've been docking you the whole time. Yeah. You sitting there like, what does this dude see?
Yeah, he was dope. The milkman was dope. Yeah, the milkman, he's this old, like, he's probably like in his 60s. He come deliver the milk. And he would like actually go through the fridge and put all the older milk in the front.
Oh, he'd FIFO it for y'all?
Yeah, he put the new milk in the back. And if it was like, on that last week, he's like, yeah, you need to use this right now.
That's crazy. I could never imagine meeting somebody that courteous.
Yeah, he was dope. He was dope. Yeah.
Oh, man. Dude, like, and then I had this one spot that I worked at where we had the roastery in the building. So you'd have to go through the like restaurant, like food and beverage, health code stuff. And then you also got to go through the FDA stuff all in the same building.
Oh, damn.
Difficult.
Yeah.
And then like I ran production. So like there's like that weird time span where it's like, all right, so technically we ain't doing nothing wrong. But because this inspection is going on, all that coffee that's roasted over there, we can't go get it right now because we got to wheel it through the cafe to the back to where the production is because the roastery is in the front. So we just like, well, we just going to sit in the back until this inspection done because
can't do nothing.
Yeah,
damn. Yeah, we had it easy in Wake Forest because we were under the Department of Agriculture. Mm-hmm. And that dude, he popped up once when we took over and we're like, yeah, so you coming back next year? He's like, nah, I'll just show up again sometime. 3 years later.
He said sometime. He didn't say when.
3 years later. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Nah, dude. It's funny because like you think like you remember Nigel was talking about just popping up like no permit, no nothing. Like it's always funny seeing how like grassroots and we just gonna figure it out as it goes. Most of these like cafes and businesses have been because like this isn't or at least on this side of this isn't the most lucrative of industries to be in.
No.
So it's usually like people just trying to figure it out and just like hoping for the best and winging it. Like, hey, I'm good at roasting coffee, or I love coffee, or like I love being able to serve people, so I'm gonna open a cafe, so on and so forth. And we just be just flying by the seat of our pants.
Yeah.
And like it leads to all of these hijinks that we see, because it's really the blind leading the blind out here. Like,
Yeah.
You don't know nothing about running a business, don't know nothing about making sure stuff together. It's just coffee and vibes.
Yeah. Coffee and vibes. Dude. I mean, I guess it goes to like, if you come across like you're supposed to be there, no one's going to question you,
Oh, so you mean like barista competition?
Or anything really, like Nigel, I thought this dude had a permit, I thought it was legit, but was it legit? No.
Right.
But the way he came across, the way his social media was presented,
it sound good.
the professional cart that he had, that cart is dope.
Yeah.
It creates this perception that, okay, this is a legit setup.
But we've seen
I'm not
going to
question that.
But we've seen that in so many places. Like, how many cafes look amazing?
Yes.
From the customer side.
Right.
And you are behind that counter.
But he also delivered. He delivered.
Right. Right. But I'm just saying, like, it's funny because you think of like, there's so many people that's just flying by the seat of their pants in this. We know places where like the outside looks amazing.
Yeah.
It's like a puppet show. You don't see the strings and the little sticks and stuff till you get to the other side. And you're like, dang, bro, like.
Yeah, I've been in several cafes.
Mm-hmm.
Dope. Beautiful cafes. Roll up in there. There's no one in there. I'm like, why is no one in here? And then I get the beverage and I'm like, oh.
But no, I don't even mean that. I mean the spots that like it'll be doing. Like, I'll give you an example. Cafe I worked at in Maryland, we had a partnership with this concert venue in DC where we did where we like did coffee service during concerts, but we will also like during the daytime do coffee service in the backstage area for whoever the artist was that was performing, their crew, the stage crew, so on and so forth, right? So like we run in a full on espresso bar, like everything you could order at our cafe out of a little cart with a flow jet setup. And like it's in a concert venue, looks all official, and we know it's just this flow jet in the back. We gotta run to the other side of the concert venue and go to like not the mop sink, but like next to that area to go get the filtered water, to drag a jug all the way back to the side. It look amazing on the opposite end.
But behind the scenes,
just duct taping dreams on the other side. You know?
That seems like every expo I've been to.
Right. Dude, working the booths, you'll be back there like, I don't know how we getting it done.
Man, Sunday can't come fast enough.
and then it be busy, and it be like actually busy on time. I mean, you sitting there and you're like, yo, I just made like 6,000 drinks in 2 days.
Yeah, and it's busy because everything's for free.
For free, right? I made like 6,000 drinks on 2 days, made $0 and
0 tips,
and we did all this off of a Poland Spring 5-gallon that got a hose dropped into it from a Linear Mini.
Yo. and somebody lugging that gray water back to somewhere.
Gray is hopeful. It might be beige. It might be. We just be figuring it out, man.
Oh, man. Yo, don't spill no milk back there either, because Sunday it's going to be stank.
just throw the shoes away, man. Just throw the shoes away. Like
real, man. I my first volunteer like WBC was in Bogota, and they had that UHT milk. It was all in bags. So before we got the actual solid like containers to put the bag in, we had to use the bag. And several times, somebody did not prop it up correctly, so it spilled everywhere.
I mean, it's like trying to hold flubber.
Right,
like it's just
right. And it's open. So by Sunday, it was just stank. It smelled like old coffee grounds and just stank UHT milk.
I mean,
that just
the concept
festered.
of a bag of liquid.
Yeah.
Like
behind a bar.
Just not
good.
like that you're trying to
not
use
good
at volume and speed. It's just not fun. But like, it's funny though, because that's like, it's also like, that's the finesse of Expo. Like most people, in order to get to go for the first time are probably working one of them bars.
Yeah.
And like we all got that story of just being like, man, I don't know how we did it.
But we did.
But we did it. And like I definitely like had that concert pop-up set up before I'd ever been to an expo or anything like that. So at least it wasn't super foreign to me by the time I started like working booths and stuff like that. But the amount of people that I know that I've like brought to expo for the first, no, not brought because I haven't like physically brought anyone, but like will come and like they're a coworker of mine that comes and like works a booth at expo for the first time and they've never done any pop-ups like that. Like it's a world changer for them. Because like I had the concert pop-up, also had we used to do this farmer's market with this spot where we would like bring an espresso setup and we'd sell like a bunch of retail coffee. So we bring like a couple hundred bags of retail coffees, pop up at a farmer's market. And in order to run the like espresso and pour over stations at the farmer's market, we would have to go back to the shed that we have every Sunday and put the generator on the truck and then drive the truck over to the market, set up, do the whole thing. And those used to be like, again, those would be short shifts because like, you know, it's farmer's market, you do 3-4 hours, keep it
It's
moving.
one day.
Right. It's not that bad, but we would do it every Sunday.
Okay.
The thing about it though is that one port, that like 30 minutes that it takes to like get the generator on and lug everything, that felt like a shift by itself. Like you didn't want to do anything else after that. So like I had those experiences, which made, you know, the expo, the running through the show floor to go get water and go find more milk and towels and like all that stuff, like a little bit more familiar to me. There's people where it's a world of difference for them.
It was for me. My first expo was in Atlanta. And I didn't know what to expect. You know, never did an expo, never did like a farmer's market. I just worked behind bar and show up. You know, this is like 4 years in working in a cafe. I quit the daily grind. My last day was on a Friday. And then my first day for counterculture was driving down to Atlanta to do Coffee Fest.
Atlanta got you in a chokehold, man.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Atlanta got so much of your story.
Yeah. I mean, rightfully so, man, because that's where it kind of started and then ended, you know, the career. Like, I mean, it ended in Dublin, but finally winning was in Atlanta. So that was pretty dope. Yeah. And I won like two regionals in Atlanta before.
Oh, so you had home field advantage when you got there in 2016.
Yeah. So when the Southeast, when the U.S. was in Atlanta, 2016, it was like I had home court advantage.
Right, so I'm gonna wait till U.S. is in like a real black ass place,
right?
Could be like, they tell me, you know, like
Oakland,
like we're like Compton Barista Championships. I got you. I'm finna go crazy. The whole routine gonna have Kendrick Lamar and Dr. Dre. We straight.
Just bring it to Brooklyn,
yo. First off, I'm gonna be honest with you. I would never in my freaking life compete in a barista competition in New York City.
Really?
Could you imagine trying to bring those wares through somewhere in the city?
But you got peeps there.
What that mean? Do you remember getting into New York Coffee Fest? Do you remember New York Coffee Fest?
New York Coffee Fest.
And we didn't bring the espresso machine.
We did.
Just the grinders.
Yeah.
I will never.
Yeah, that was rough.
Bro.
And I'm kind of happy that I'm not going to be there next month, but I'm kind of sad because I'm going to miss Coffee Masters. But we got prelims.
We do got prelims. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. It's gonna be dope.
Like, as much as these trade shows are great to be at, it's great to not work them.
Yeah, because I mean, the 5,000 or so people that stop by the booth, you know, they don't see all the duct tape. and that speaks to like the volunteers that run the booth. You know,
it speaks to that. It also speaks to like how we learn as an industry to just like keep each other pushing. That's part of like the beauty of this whole thing. Like, we may not necessarily have much, but the way that we'll work together communally to like put on a show, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, the funny part is the people that don't see the duct tape are the people that are coming to this as like straight consumers.
Yep.
The other coffee professionals,
or new industry people,
right? But the like professionals, they know.
Yeah.
So
they worked those booths before.
So they'll come up.
There's mad respect when they come up.
It's respect, and then like they'll ask you to like little Easter egg questions where they could find out like how you doing.
Yeah.
Like, because one of my favorite things about like coffee professionals is they'll come up to you, see your line at the booth, and you'll be like, yo, like, you want me to go hit such and such booth for you? But it'd be the booth that got, that's doing coffee cocktails. I'm like, yeah, man, go on over to Patron booth for me. Bring that back over real quick. Give me a free sample, a little something, because with his line, man.
Yep. Oh, he got that free ice cream.
Yeah, I mean ice cream bar. Dairy-free ice cream bar. Nah, but them Oli ice cream bars be slapping.
They were slap.
Hold on, let's not get in trouble and do commercials early yet. If if y'all want to put your,
maybe we have to cut that. Because we got to put Pacific in there before we put some Oatly.
Hey man, we'll see who we putting in there, but we'll see. But no, like it's crazy to think that like we're able to put on these pretty big productions. Like I'll give a shout out to one company that I've seen always do it pretty big, Variety out in New York. They always be doing crazy moves. Like they did like a tiki hut house theme.
Oh, you're talking about the coffee festival?
Fest. Yeah, and I've seen them do other like really dope ones, but it's like we be just figuring it out in this industry, man. And like it'll be dope the day that like this isn't we just got to figure it out industry and just like put it together. Because those skills are always like when you learn how to make it happen from like nothing, when you have access and resources, things you can do, the possibilities are endless. Like I talk about that from like working at early cafes where you had no technology. You had like the dose, like the hand dosing grinders and like no scales and all other stuff that by the time you get to a cafe where you got volumetrics and scales in your grinder and all this other crazy stuff, like when one of those break, you just tap back into instinct and you still can like make great coffee. So like just thinking about like how many of these things, these like events and like these big productions we put on with minimal access, when like us as a collective are able to grow and like all have access to really dope stuff, those creative minds are going to start running and finding really innovative ways to like just put on for people.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of, let's drop a gem. I'm going to drop a gem right now for all those roasters out there just starting out, trying to get their product into the hands of the people. If you have access to an expo or a coffee fest or a coffee festival, the best way to get involved, one, volunteer, two, get your coffee out there, find out what, vendors are going to be there and reach out to them and say, hey, I've got 15 pounds of coffee I'm going to give to you if you want to put it on your booth. Yeah. And just have like some information about, your business, the coffee for them to display. And, get there and actually volunteer and say, hey, I'll come out and brew the coffee for you. Yeah. That's a gem to drop for folks, about Expo and these coffee festivals, to get your coffee and your name out there. Yeah. So.
And that's for roasters. And then I say for baristas, obviously finding the places you can work with, because a lot of times nowadays they're starting to make it so that like, yo, like they'll pay people that are behind the bars. It's not just like, hey, you're coming and volunteering for your pass. Like people will pay for really good baristas, really good coffee professionals to be back there serving their product or demoing their machines, whatever it may be. But like those are the places where you can network and learn what the next thing is. Because like it takes being in those spaces with people that show you what's possible within the industry to allow you to know where you can next go, or you find the things that you like and can create a lane out of. So go into those spaces, get a chance to meet other professionals, get a chance to find out about just really cool, innovative things that are going on in the industry, the next trends that are happening, the next set of events, and like kind of using those circuits to help uplift your own career. Yeah. That's another gem right there as well.
A lot of inspiration to figure out the next step for you, And big shout out to those companies that are paying baristas, because when I was coming up, it was more of like, oh, come volunteer and this would be great exposure.
They were doing the artist thing.
Yeah.
We can't pay you, but we can pay you in exposure. It's like
exposure. It was cool back then. Not really, but it was cool. But, 10, 15 years into it, I don't need any more exposure.
Right.
I need to get paid for my time, because I've been doing this for a minute. A lot of baristas out here have been doing it for a minute, and they have skills, and they need to be paid and compensated for their skills. Absolutely. And there are companies now at Expo and Coffee Fest that are actually paying coffee professionals. And I call you a coffee professional because you're being paid for your work. for your skills, you know? So yeah.
And
shout
at
out
the
to
end
those
of the
companies,
day,
man.
at the end of the day, like you're professional because these are skills that are necessary within the world. Like people, like I've always said that if I were to ever like create a school curriculum, like if I ever ended up working back in the educational system, like if I could work in a charter school system or something like that, where you can do unorthodox styles, one thing that I would put into every curriculum is like high schoolers need to take a semester of doing some type of service job because it teaches you how to deal with people, teach you how to teach you how to interact, how to problem solve, how to work in tandem, all that stuff. And these skills are things that like you need to know in the real world. So like people really underestimate what those people skills are. People really underestimate how important communication skills are. So like while there are people out there that try to say, you know, being a barista isn't like a skilled labor, or being like a coffee professional isn't a like real job. I was told by even like my own family that this was a hobby until it wasn't, you know. Those skills are unquantifiable, and they have value that people can't like put a limit on. So you get great at being able to interact in those rooms, being able to work those spaces, being able to navigate people of all different backgrounds, language barriers, so on and so forth. That's valuable. And that's something that will take you far. So these companies are going to have to pay for quality people to do that, to represent their brands, but also it's going to be a great way to separate yourself from the pack. Because people remember those great experiences. You think about it in the small scale of like your cafes, people remember when they have a great experience inside of a cafe. People are going to remember great experiences in a space where everyone's trying to show out. If you can stand out in that, you can go far. I remember one of the first like expo style things I worked was a coffee fest in New York. And I remember my wife had came like while I was working the booth, so I couldn't just like wander around the show floor with her. And she's like meeting all these different manufacturers. This is early into me being a tech, and like just working the room on her own. Not something that I asked for, just like her just being herself. And she comes back and she's like, yeah, so all these people are doing this, and this, and you need to meet this person and this person. And I'm like, you work in this room like you a coffee professional better than so many people. Like, and like not better than, but just like you can't undervalue great people skills. No, you can't. And that is something that we in this industry have in spades.
I'm good with people.
Like,
for real.
Yo, like that on top of having the skill of being able to make great coffee, like we some talented people that those skills transfer into places that you never know. And like when you get into those like higher spaces in the industry, tech, education, sales, green coffee sales, roasting, so on and so forth, you don't even get to realize until you're in the storm how much those skills that you've been doing are already like implanted into you when you need to go to like that new role, because you're just getting exercise doing it. It's the difference in like addition and multiplication. Like you practice those people skills behind the bar, being able to multitask, being able to solve problems and then all of a sudden you become a account manager and you realize like all of the things you were already doing, you're just now doing, but for larger scales as opposed to just individual transactions. So yeah.
And you know, competition season's coming up. Not everybody wants or needs to be a competitor, but you know, volunteer shifts. If you sign up now or soon, whenever they're available, you get a pass for the expo floor. And then that's your opportunity to, you know, volunteer your time with other, you know, companies and start that networking process. You know, visit some of these after, you know, expo parties and just start communicating. You know, use those skills in the cafe of like communication at expo, and I guarantee you something's going to happen. You know, come shout out me. I'll be in Chicago.
You in Chicago?
You gonna be in Chicago?
How do I know? I would assume I'm going to Chicago.
Let's go to Chicago.
I'd like to go to
Wags. You want to go to Chicago?
I'm in.
Chi-Town?
We should bring 95 plus to Chicago.
We definitely should. We got some places we need to bring 95 plus. We done said that, but we definitely gotta get this show on the road.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, come grab me on the expo floor. Say what's up. You know, yeah.
Hopefully I'm not competing, so that
hopefully you will be. No, actually, if you're competing, you won't be in Chicago.
I don't know where it is this year.
There's rumors.
Okay.
There's rumors.
What you hearing?
I heard somewhere in Missouri.
St. Louis?
Maybe,
Kansas City?
Maybe St. Louis. Maybe Kansas City.
Okay.
Maybe St. Louis.
Maybe St. Louis.
Maybe Kansas City.
You ain't helping at all. Nah, man. But I mean,
that'd be dope. If it was in Kansas City, we can go roll up on Messenger again.
Yo, Messenger.
Go to the rooftop, reminisce.
Yeah. Where it all started.
Yeah.
For me at least. But nah, wherever it ends up being, definitely I was saying, I was more so saying, hopefully I'm not competing so that I can be more active on the expo floor. Because one thing that's something
when you're competing, your mind's somewhere else, man.
I really wish that I had more bandwidth in Portland. That was one day I did the Pacific booth, which was lovely. I love those guys. It's always great getting to work with them. But after that, it was all competition.
Yeah.
And then I didn't make finals and it was all sleep. I was I'm sorry. I couldn't wake myself up. But when you're not competing, there's so much more bandwidth to be around, work the rooms. It's just easier to be.
There's no stress.
It's not there's no stress. There's definitely still stress because there's still thousands of people running around and you're not there, not working. There's no circumstance where I'm going to be at Expo or any of these things as an employee of Black and White and not working. So there's some stress. Okay. It's not the same level as competition and everything on a time crunch, but my whole thing is it's so much easier to be there for everyone else when you're not doing the competition side. So I don't know what will happen yet, but if I'm not competing, I'm also going to be on the floor. Come say hi, come build. Let's make connections. You never know what happens.
For real.
Meet some great people.
For real. Man, I don't even know how we got into it. We just went all over the place.
Yeah, we just jumped around. This was our variety show right now. This is Man,
Word.
I'm shutting down the expo floor, but first you gotta run over to the brewer. You gotta run over to the Coffee and Good Spirits.
Yeah.
And bring me back a Irish coffee.
Yup. Competition expo. Wow.
Dog.
It's wild.
It'd
be dope if they bring it back to North Carolina. Yo, for real. Expo needs to be back in Charlotte or Raleigh. That'd be dope.
Where are you doing it in Raleigh?
I don't know.
What the
convention center?
Convention center?
Yeah. Or you could do what is it? PNC.
Yo,
Do it at PNC.
That'd be kind of sick.
But ain't really nothing around there. There's nothing around there.
We've had expo in Costa Mesa, which is 2 hours away from LA. There wasn't nothing around Costa Mesa neither.
That's true.
It was just beautiful.
But that was just a competition. I'm talking about expo.
Oh, you talking about the whole thing?
Yeah, bring the whole thing.
Shebang.
It was in Charlotte. My first expo that I saw was in Charlotte.
Right.
But Charlotte, back then, 2005, Charlotte didn't really have. Charlotte didn't have much. There wasn't any specialty coffee. I know that. Not Just Coffee didn't come till a lot later. And before Not Just, the only thing that really stands out in my mind was Dilworth coffee roasters, and they were bought recently by Stockton Graham here in Raleigh.
Okay.
But Dilworth wasn't your quote unquote third wave, So yeah, I don't even know if I went to any coffee shops in Charlotte when I was down there. I just hit up Expo competition, did make it past semis, and it was Charlotte, so it's just drive back home.
you know where I actually would love to see Expo end up. This is gonna sound crazy. This state got some stuff with them, but I would love to see coffee develop in this space more, the specialty side. I would love to see Florida.
Oh, really?
I know Florida.
They got Coffee Fest coming up.
They do, but Expo.
Expo.
I know Florida got a lot.
Miami
with it. Yeah,
Miami be hot.
It'd be sick. It'd be fun for the people that's coming, but also that's one of those places that I'm really interested to see coffee start to develop in, because I feel there's some spaces down there, but a lot of the coffee culture in that area is still a little bit
but it's come a long way.
It's come a long way, but
way.
You know what the hubs look like. So it would be dope to see a Florida hub turn into a Texas, a Cali, a New York, the bigger hubs becoming the bigger hubs. It'd be dope.
I mean, if they could throw an expo in Houston, they could do one in Miami. Come on. Come with it. Come with it. Come with it, SCA.
Okay. See something there. They're gonna need me on the planning committee to be like, all right, so here's we doing it.
I mean, they did one in Minneapolis. We could do Miami. Come with it. Come with it, SCA.
What is in Minneapolis?
Exactly. Prince. And he's dead. So come with it, SCA. No, I'm R.I.P., man. I love Prince. Prince Rogers Nelson. Come on.
Just no holograms. That's a double entendre, but we just gonna leave it alone.
No, Mike Strump, he sent me a text over the weekend. He found the barista competition program from 2008 when it was in Minneapolis.
Ooh.
That was when I spilled honey all over the table.
Dang.
Yeah. That was I had to take a break. I had to take a year off after that.
Yo.
Yeah, I took a year off after that one. Yep. 08. Minneapolis. It was cold too, man.
I mean, yeah.
And it was April. It was cold.
Yeah, because it's you
Minneapolis.
You up by the Great Lakes,
cold.
baby.
Yeah.
It's cold.
Freaking cold.
Like April up north is not down here. Dude, I seen somebody this past weekend. I was up in New York and was talking to them and they were like, yeah, man, North Carolina's kind of nice. You get a little bit of every type of weather. And I went, what are you talking about? Because I'm from New York.
Yeah.
Every type of weather to me means snow, hail, like sunshine. Like New York, you get every type of weather, right? And dude's like, yeah, man, I'm from Florida. I'm like, oh yeah, every type of weather to you is North Carolina because it don't ever
we
go below
used to get every type of weather. We used to get spring, summer, fall, and winter. And it used to snow.
I don't ever remember North Carolina really getting winter.
Dude.
Like,
I mean, it's not like up north. Winter,
right.
But it would snow like at least 2 or 3 times a year.
Right. But that's why, so like, I was going like.
And I'm talking about the Piedmont. I'm talking about capital.
Okay.
East. Like, the mountains, they get snow.
They get this. Right. Yeah. But it was intriguing to me to hear someone say that about North Carolina. And I'm thinking like, this is not every type of weather because New York, the weather's like an undeclared major. It don't know what it want to be when it grow up.
It's either hot or cold there. And then you get a couple
That's
months
not
where
true.
it's nice.
New York, you could be like, hey, is it going to be hot or cold today? And New Yorker say, yeah. you leave your house in the north face because it's 20 degrees when you go to work and then it's 96 by the time you clock out. You be like, God, yeah. Like New York, you can get every type of weather on the same day.
Yeah. See, I'm not about that. No, I'm not about that at all.
So, New York weather, how you dressing real out of pocket. Walk outside in Timberlands, some beach shorts.
Boston's not like that. Boston's like either nice or it's cold. It's cold. It's more cold than anything else.
Yeah, Boston's like typically cold.
Couldn't deal with that.
It's weird, and like I brought up Maine last episode, but like that, yeah, like most of the Northeast is like cold, but then you get like far up, Maine, Vermont, so on and so forth. It just be like breezy. Like it could be 9 degrees outside, but it won't feel that bad because the wind not smacking you across the face,
not cutting through your north face.
Like it's just cutting through your face, like just. Forget the jacket. You like my face hurts. Why does my face hurt? Because I'm outside.
Yeah.
So like I'll
stick with North Carolina.
Yeah. I mean, I like it down here. I would love to see
North Cat.
Yeah, I'd love to see Expo down here one time. Trying to think of some other places it'd be cool to see it at. Because just places we haven't been to. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Like I get it. We go to the places that we have connections in, and like it makes sense.
Like North Dakota.
No, I'm cool.
You ever been to the Dakotas, Wags?
Population.
North Dakota.
You've actually been there?
It was cold.
Yeah.
It's cold?
Yeah.
Population like 7, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm good.
We drove through a town. We were headed north, almost to the border of Canada. There was a small little town. Literally on the sign, it said population 10. Not even a stop sign. We just cruised right through.
Heck yeah.
Nah, I don't need it to be that rural. Like,
So where have you guys been to Expo that like stands out? Like what Expo experiences, location wise, but also just like experience wise, stand out to you guys?
Man, Atlanta is dope. I like Seattle a lot.
I've never been to Seattle. I'm a fake coffee professional. I've never been to Seattle.
Anaheim was tight because you had Disneyland right there. I told that story.
Goofy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess the one that stands out the most would probably be, I guess, Seattle, man, because it was like, Pacific Northwest. That was the third wave Mecca, the whole like birthplace of Starbucks. I did get to see the what was it, the
Reserve?
The Reserve. I saw that there when they built that. But yeah, I don't know, man. I guess it was Seattle that stands out the most,
Okay. I've had less expos, but I guess it's technically expo too, but when Worlds was in Boston.
Yeah.
And I think the reason for me was because that was like my first like hustle expo, if it makes any sense. Like I didn't have a ticket. I just stowed away in a car with some people driving up.
Yeah.
Showed up for an event that I was supposed to be at, which was an after hours event. Just kept playing switch the tags with people so I can get on the expo floor.
Yeah.
So I had like 13 different tags. None of them actually said my name. I was just wearing people's tags and walking around and just like, kind of making my introduction to most of the industry, like other than competition the month before. But it was just really like my first time getting to like experience what expo was like while also getting to watch World Barista competition. So I would say that one stuck out to me because that was the one that felt like the for the love of the game type experience and not like I was out there on behalf of work or like I was out there and I kind of knew what I was experiencing. I was just still very green to everything. So I would say that one.
Boston was tough, man, because it was there twice.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I was competing, 5 seconds.
Oh man.
And
was them 5 seconds what killed you?
4 points. If I wouldn't have cleaned the freaking grate, I would have been in finals.
That's tough.
I was pissed.
That's tough.
And then fast forward to Worlds when we coached Sam. Sam did something similar. She didn't look at the time clock. And I guess she had a brain fart and went over time and didn't make finals. And so those two, like,
that's what sticks out to you about Boston?
Sticks out about Boston, both of those two.
Okay.
So, no disrespect. I'm from Boston. No disrespect to anybody in Boston, but F Boston.
Well, I'm from New York, so all disrespect, F Boston. You know what I mean? Can't spell a Lee without Eli. Won 2 Super Bowls against the Patriots. I'm from New York. I don't care. I'll say it.
No, yo, speaking of the Patriots, so you're coming down here to North Carolina. We didn't have, a pro football team. So I always rooted for the Patriots because that's where I'm from. And I said, if we ever got a pro team, I'd switch.
And y'all faced the Patriots in that first Super Bowl.
Right. That first Super Bowl with the Patriots and the Panthers, I went to one of Sarah's best friend's house. She was having a Super Bowl party. And of course, she's like hardcore die Carolina Panthers fan, right? So my brother and I roll up in there, right? My brother, he was born in North Carolina, but whatever. And, I just planned on rooting for the Panthers, And that's what we did. And then she just started talking mad crap about the Patriots. I was like,
your instincts just kicked in?
Yeah, they started to kick in, but I fought them. I said I was going to root for the Patriots. I mean, for the Panthers. And then she started talking smack about Bostonians. And I was like, nah, I'm switching teams.
You going right back?
And so we just started talking shit about the Panthers, about North Carolina, and I mean, just poking fun, right? and she just got pissed because they were losing. Panthers were losing.
Yep.
She left her own Super Bowl party. She left her house. We ran her out of her house.
Man, one of my favorite memories as a kid, and I'm about to tell 2 stories, but this one just to tie in the like whole Super Bowl party switching team stuff. 2000, the Super Bowl was the Giants versus the Ravens, or I guess it was 01, 2000 season going into 01. Super Bowl was Giants versus the Ravens, and I was 7 turning 8 this time. And my favorite player was Ray Lewis. So like I love the Giants, but like I love the Ravens because my favorite player was on that team. So Super Bowl's happening and I'm rooting for the Ravens because I want to see Ray Lewis win Super Bowl. My dad is a diehard Giants fan. Man, Ravens started beating on them boys. My dad sent me straight to bed. I woke up the next morning. Ravens won 35-7. I'm celebrating throughout. My dad is sick of me. But ironically enough, talking about just sports in general, qualifiers for me was Colorado. This past year, Nationals was Portland. This past weekend was Colorado versus Oregon football game, and you know. I gotta go with my boy Prom. And I got so many people that I know from the Pacific Northwest because that's just coffee.
Yeah.
And that's just like, so I seen so many Oregon fans or out of nowhere Oregon fans over the past like couple of weeks. And I just been ready to ride for my boy Prime Time. Like, and they got smacked yesterday, man. I had to see my timeline looking crazy. Like, yeah, Oregon got it. I'm like,
nope.
Love you, Prom, but dang, we got beat up on.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, man. We got to see Expo branch out to some fun places over the next couple of years. Hopefully that happens. Hopefully we're around to help facilitate that.
Yeah, for real. I was trying to think of one more city that I would love to see it in. It's not really much.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to see new places. Like, obviously, we've gotten the Calis. I don't want to see the New Yorks.
The thing about Expo, man, it's like you spend so much time on the show floor, and you get that FOMO, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many parties. So there has to be like some really dope venues to host these parties.
Yeah, I mean, so it would have to be like I could think of like DC, even though like I'm super familiar with DC. It wouldn't be a new experience for me, but some other people will really love it. This is like up and down the East Coast, and then Midwest, like, yeah.
What's a dope Midwest city?
Detroit,
There are none.
Chicago. Hey, don't
Damn, Wags.
Detroit, Chicago.
Well, I mean, you got Chicago next year. That'd be cool. I haven't been to Chicago in a while.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Chicago since I started.
Is Memphis Midwest?
Would be sick. Like they do Nashville often.
Yeah, Nashville. Yeah,
Memphis would be cool. Yo, what about Dallas?
Dallas would be hot.
I'll rock with Dallas.
They've done Houston. I would like to see Dallas. They haven't done Dallas, have they?
Not to my knowledge.
I don't think
they can go do Houston. I'll go to Houston.
Yeah, Houston was dope. I had fun in Houston.
Go buy the section at a club. You know what I mean? Just same thing I was going to do in Miami. Man.
But word. That was dope.
Yes, sir. Man, it's feel good. We getting back in shape. It's been fun being here.
Yeah, for real.
So next time y'all see an episode, it'll be from the live recording. We're gonna have some special guests from y'all.
Yeah.
We'll start promoting that. Or by the time you hear this episode, it'll probably been promoted already, but you'll get to see it in video and audio form soon. But yeah, man.
Thanks for tuning into the 95 Plus Variety Show.
Yep. Just wait until we get that pilot approved. We're gonna be on Netflix.
Word.
After the writer's strike is over and everybody getting paid properly. Tubi. No. Tubi. All right, man. Thank y'all for coming out. Peace.
2 times. Tubi times.
There we go.